Today we've been joined by Mia Geere, who plays for Queensland in state championships and also is a part of the Brisbane Lions Academy. Mia, thanks for coming on.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
No worries. Tell us a bit about your footy journey, Mia. What kind of got you into footy and what type of player you are?
Well, my dad got me into footy. I was about 5 over in WA, so that's where I started my first year. And then I've been over here at Grange ever since. Yeah.
Very nice. So obviously you just said you came from WA, so obviously you're a bit younger then, so maybe you didn't fully grasp it at the time, but was the move a big one? And now obviously it's so far at least, you'd be enjoying the move from a footy point of view at least.
Yeah, so I was born over here and then we moved over there for a year because we have family over there. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, been here ever since.
So what type of play would you say you play on the footy field? What position you'd play?
Kind of get thrown around everywhere, hey, like midfield, wing, half back, half forward. Yeah, probably a bit more of an outside player though, but trying to get in there a bit more.
That's all right. Obviously you represented Queensland in the state championships a month or so ago, and obviously played the two of the 3 games you got to play in. Considering it's not your draft year this year, Mia, how much confidence does that give you going into future years that you got a few games in the state under 18 side right now?
Yeah, definitely big confidence boost. Good to have them under my belt. Just for experience coming into next year, and obviously my draft year in 2 years. So
that's right. So how did you feel personally you went going into those games? Are you one that has nerves, Mia? And if so, how did you try and combat all that?
Yeah, I do get nerves quite a bit. Like I do tend to feel it, but all the girls around me supported, so it was good. And the coach, Zilks, was amazing as well. So
that's good. How did you feel that you went in both the games that you played?
I definitely had a slow start in my first game. Probably just wasn't used to it, but yeah, worked my way into that game and felt like I played pretty well in the WA game. So.
And you speak of the WA game, obviously in that game you had 14 disposals, kicked a goal, a few behinds and 5 scoring involvements. As you said, it must be pretty pleasing to kick a goal in that game. Is that a goal that, when I bring up goal questions, people like their best goals they've ever got or big moments, was that one that comes to your mind so far in your footy journey?
Yeah, definitely. I'm super proud of it, I reckon, because I had family there as well watching, so it was pretty cool to keep one in front of them. And yeah, it just definitely helped confidence as well. So
that's good. Obviously, was it jumper number 11? Was it in the state championships? Did you get to choose that? And if so, how did that process go?
No, we didn't actually get to choose numbers. We just got given them. So I think I got pretty lucky with my number. I don't mind number 11, and I played with it in academy as well. So.
Okay, well, that's all right then. So who were some players that kind of took you under their wing, Mia, throughout the state championship? As you said, being in a bottom major. So how did you get through that tournament, and who were some players that you leaned on for some advice and everything like that?
Well, Zimra plays at Grange, so I've always been pretty close with her. But definitely like Poppy Tyndall, Faz, Royza, hanging out with them a bit. And then I got to know some of the coast girls as well. So like Mia Salisbury, yeah, and all those girls. It was really good.
That's good. Now, I love asking these teammate questions, Mia, because I always get the variations of answers. So who loves the limelight, the attention, the camera at the state championship clubs or someone at the Lions Academy? They can't get enough of it and they know what to do when cameras are around.
Definitely Zimra. She loves the camera. Loves a good photo of her. Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice and pacey. Who would you say is the best chatterbox at either side?
Oh, chatterbox. I reckon Mia chats a bit, but like only good chat, like just mucking around, good vibes. Yeah.
That's good. Loudest and quietest teammates.
I think I want to say Chloe's pretty quiet and reserved, but yeah, she still gives a bit of chat now and then. But yeah, she's probably one of the quieter teammates.
Nice.
And I'd probably say loudest would be, yeah, probably Mia again, and those girls like Mia and Habs, Leah, even when they're mucking around. Yeah.
And if you were stuck on a deserted island with teammates, who would you be bringing and not bringing, and why?
I'd probably take Poppy. She's good company. And I reckon we would be able to get off the island, maybe. And probably wouldn't take Zim. She'd probably just sit there and yeah, maybe be a bit annoying, but she's good quality.
That's good. Obviously, throughout the state championships, who do you feel in the team that you played for kind of performed really well throughout the tournament?
I reckon Georgia Davies played really well, considering she's not draft age. Yeah, she had a pretty good season.
That's right. How did you first find out, Mia, that you were going to be a part of this under-18 state championship side, and how did you react to it?
I was pretty shocked, to be honest. Yeah, it was pretty cool getting told by Zilks. Yeah, like proper shock. I think there were a couple tears shed, but yeah.
That's good. Now, the Brisbane Lions Academy, obviously you've been a part of the academy for a little bit, so how did that opportunity come about? And again, how did you react to that happening as well?
Yeah, so I knew I was in level 2, and then I'd spoken to Zilks a little bit, and then she said I was going to do the 18 stuff as well. So there was no real expectation of like if I was going to play games or anything, but it was pretty cool when I did like get the call up for the games as well.
That was good. Toughest opponent you've ever had to match up on at any level at any point in time? Who would you say that would be?
That's a good question. Honestly, not too sure. Probably maybe even in Quaffle this year, like having to play against like in the midfield, like Steph O'Brien from Southport and stuff. Like they're pretty cool to play against because they're just so strong and good at what they do.
So obviously the Queensland State side obviously had a great championships throughout the 3 games that they played. Why do you feel the team is so strong, and it gives good confidence, I suppose, going into future years? Because as you said, a few of the names that you mentioned, including yourself, aren't in your draft year this year, and you're already all representing the team already at the under-18s level. Must give you good confidence for the future of Queensland footy as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's so good seeing all the girls coming through. The talent's like insane the next few years, so it'll be good to see how they all go, and hopefully myself as well. But yeah, I reckon we're going to have a cracking team next year as well.
That's good. Now, who would be the teammate that would Google themselves? Who would be the one to get their phone out or whatever and start searching their name up to see all their history, starts going through articles, and then watch your own highlights as well?
Well, Poppy did say I was guilty of that, so I can agree that I've done that.
Yeah.
I would say Zimmer as well. Sometimes I get a message after a game saying, "Hey, you got the stats or anything?" So I'd have to flick the link through to her.
Yeah, one of them. No, that's good. I mean, I no matter the level, I love it too. To be honest, I do that myself with cricket and everything like that. It's just nice satisfaction. I feel like even if you know you didn't do the greatest, but you can just see your name on there publicly, and it's accessible for anyone, and just see how you've gone.
Yeah, literally 100%. Yeah, it's a bit of a confidence booster as well, I reckon.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you've done something that warrants that boost. In terms of posting, though, would you be one, Mia, to post your own highlights if there was something that would pop up?
I mean, occasionally I probably have, but not consistently every game. No.
Okay, fair enough. Now, recently, I believe you had an awards night. What accolades did you pull off in that night?
Yeah. So we had the Emma Zilke and Grogan Medal Night. The weekend just gone, and I was pretty lucky to get goal of the year again. So I got it last year as well and picked it up again.
It's very good. So you're a goal sneaker, and I love asking people goal kicking questions, Mia. So I'm going to ask you this: what was your best goal? So what was the goal that got you the goal of the year this year?
Goal of the year, it was down here at Grange. I was running. It was against Southport too, so premiers kind of makes it a little bit cooler.
Yeah.
I got the ball. I was going for a run. I kind of look up and I freak out because I see Georgia Davies coming at me. I'm like, oh no, I can't step her. So then I just like pop a handball over her and pray it sits back up, and it did. And then just kind of slotted it from 35 out.
That's good. Does it give you some confidence too, in a way, when you're competing against people like Georgia, you mentioned, who you play with in the state championships, but you also, when you represent the state in the state championships, you actually get to learn a bit from every other player when you compete against them in other levels?
Yeah, definitely. Like I learned a lot from all the girls at Queensland, because being one of the younger ones as well. Like I've looked up to them for ages, so it's pretty cool to be playing alongside them, and definitely like being able to rove to Georgia and stuff. It's pretty cool because they just put it down and then
That's right. What would you say some of your biggest strengths overall, though, as a footballer?
Biggest strengths, I reckon, would be like my kicking. Normally I've got pretty clean skills, marking as well. Yeah.
Very nice. Goals you set for yourself. Obviously, I'm sure one of them was to play in the state championships and everything like that, and then represent some sides. So what are some goals you set for yourself for future years as well?
Obviously, long-term goal is to get drafted, hopefully, 2026. But yeah, next year, just keep playing good, consistent footy, constantly getting better. Hopefully, making the stateside again would be awesome. So,
very good. That would be good. Now you talk about not talking about, but in the background, right behind you is that jumper, number 57. Now that's a big leap from 11 or down from 57 to 11. A very unique number. Is that a usual thing at the club that you're representing there, that they got high jumper numbers, or did you request that?
I didn't request this one. It's kind of just in the room. Mine's actually over there on the rack. So, but
okay,
yeah, they normally go up that high because they range through from like senior to the devs team as well. So.
Oh yeah, nice, gotcha. All right, now some of your most prized possessions, Mia, that you own.
Ooh, prized possessions. I reckon 2 of my grand final jerseys from junior years. I reckon they're pretty cool. On an All Australian jersey as well from school footy, like the school sport footy from like under 15s. That was cool.
Yeah.
And then obviously a couple goal of the year plaques. Yeah.
Well, so you've got a few of them. So of those goal of the years, then, Mia, which one do you feel was your better one? Was it this year's one or was it the previous one?
I have a feeling it was this year's. Last year, it was a goal. I took 2 bounces in the same pocket as well. So,
well, see, when I do my own goal kicking challenges, I call it the Scoops pocket, being my nickname, and I always label a pocket my pocket. Well, you seem to have your own pocket as well.
Yeah, that's what everyone's joking about. They're like, we need to call it Mia's pocket, or like the scoreboard's there too. So like Mia's scoreboard or something.
Well, I mean, and if it's at the same ground as you mentioned, that's further proof that it's your pocket. Like Eddie Betts has his own pocket at Adelaide Oval. Now, Mia, you got one at that ground.
Yeah, seems like it, eh?
Exactly. And then every time you go to that ground, you got to give people the memory line and go, this is where I kicked the 2 goals a year. Now, this is my pocket. This is what you're going to do to get it in and everything like that.
Yeah, must do.
Must do that. All right.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned there about grand final jersey. So did you win any grand finals in your footy time?
Yeah, so I won one. My first one was when I was 11 playing in under 15s girls side, 2019. And then my second one was 2021, 14 and a half with the boys. So
very nice. Well, that's impressive that you're talking about playing the under 18 state championship at 16, and then you play under 15s at 11. So this age gap for you seems to be a normal thing.
Yeah, it kind of has been the whole time. I always stuck with my age group with boys just because the skill was there, but then often found that I had to play up a little bit with the girls, especially as the comp was pretty new.
So of those 2 premierships, which one do you say is, well, obviously they're both great, but if you had to rank which one was better, which one would you be more proud of?
Oh, they were both good games. The girls one we came from behind in the last quarter.
That is good.
The boys won. Actually, they were both against undefeated teams for the whole season. So, yeah, pretty hard to pick a winner between them, I reckon.
That's well, so that makes it more impressive, then, especially to come from behind one. You know, you think, well, they're in front, they're undefeated, they're going to stay undefeated, then you have a different answer for them.
Yeah.
Pretty good. That's you can't get much better than that. Split them both ways and haven't beat like that. Now, Mia, we're talking off camera about your last name pronunciations. How many times have people butchered your last name?
Oh, countless times, I reckon. I've had Greer. I've had Green as well. Geary. Yeah, there's a few different variations.
What nicknames do you go by?
I really don't have too many nicknames, to be honest. I used to play a bit of cricket, so I got Bobby from that because I did a bit of water running, like Bobby Boucher. And then sometimes I get called Gearsy by like family, or like MJ because my middle name. So.
Now you mentioned cricket, and I play cricket, and I love. When anyone brings up cricket, I am going to bring up cricket. How were you as a cricketer, Mia? And do you still play randomly here and there or not?
Yeah, I still play randomly here and there. At the start of the year, normally like on Australia Day, my dad and a couple mates, we got to Warwick, so that's always fun. But yeah, I've never really played club. I just have a few friends that do, and they're like, "Come down and try this out."
Oh, yeah. Fair enough. I was going to ask you your best bowling figures and your highest runs, but fair enough. But which one would you be more preferable in? Would you call yourself an all-rounder, a batter, a bowler?
Probably an all-rounder. Yeah.
Nice.
A little bit of batting, a little bit of bowling.
That's good. Would you consider yourself an aggressive batter? Are you more of a Test cricketer type, or you're a T20 type, or in the middle?
I'm definitely not a Test cricketer type.
Good. I love the answer. We like to hit. I have a motto, right, and it's publicly known: I only deal in boundaries, because that's what I only try and do. I may not succeed in that every time, Mia, but that's the motto I go by. And in the last few years, I've started to get a lot of wickets and won our bowling awards in our team. So I just got another catchphrase I got from that one: only deal in wickets. It's just a fun one to go by. Each match they vlog me, I always bring that out, and every time you get a decent amount of runs or a boundary or a wicket, it fits the motto.
Yeah, 100%. Always good to have a motto.
Absolutely. I love it. All right. Now, overall, how would you assess your year, Mia, as a whole? Obviously, playing for your club team, being a part of the academy, playing the state side. How would you overall assess your year?
Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I've had a pretty solid, consistent year, and yeah, honestly, not too many complaints about it.
Nice, that's good. So you want now, if you were to use a AFL or AFLW player comparison meets the type of style of play that you play, like you mentioned about playing through a few roles, who would that player be or players be?
Well, my dad thinks I play a bit like Chloe Malloy, which is pretty cool because she's a great player and I look up to her a lot. So I was pretty happy when I heard she did her ACL. Yeah, and then also Kate Hoare, I'm pretty sure I play a little bit like.
Yeah, Melbourne. Yeah. Very good. What I'm going to assume the answer is Brisbane here, but I'm going to try. What teams do you grow up supporting?
Yeah, so Dad's from WA, so I actually support West Coast. That's my main at heart for the men's. But yeah.
No.
Lions women all the way, and yeah, soft spot for the Lions men's as well now.
All right. I was going to actually say there's no link to the Eagles girls.
Yeah, I will lean there a little bit. Like, I mean, if I got offered eventually when I was drafted, could be a chance.
Very true. Very true. I'm sure your dad would like that, being an Eagles fan.
Yeah, he would love it, but he would be super happy regardless of where I went.
That's right. All right. So, how do you feel that the men's team are going? Obviously, they got a big semi-final tomorrow night. How do you feel their season's gone, and how do you reckon they'll go tomorrow night against the Giants?
I reckon it'll be a tough game. They've had a big season. Obviously, they went from 14th to 4th in a couple of rounds, so that's pretty impressive.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, hopefully they can pull through. They pulled through against the Blues, so that was a cracking game. But they don't play that great in the third term. That's normally like their quarter, but that's how they go.
That's all right. We'll see how they go. See how they got a lead at halftime and see if they can keep it. Yeah, that Carlton game with Brisbane, 60-0 at one point. That was just unbelievable.
Yeah, insane.
Who are some of your favourite players throughout the AFL and AFLW competitions?
Start with AFL.
Yeah.
I always like watching. Well, he's just retired now, but Joel Selwood. He was always great to watch. Who else is there from the Lions? Like, what's his name? Zach Bailey. He's good.
Zach Bailey. Zorko,
yeah, Zorko's had a great year. Lockie Neal is always clean. Yeah, there's so many good players. And then from like the girls, love Beldor. She just gets in and has a crack, and her skills are really good. Obviously Chloe Malloy. Jade's good on the wing. Like, there's so many good players.
Yeah, Jade Ellinger. I've met her. I've met Beldors recently, and obviously I'm sure, which I'm going to get to soon with the academy. Yeah, they're just great people. I've met them both a few times, and Bell is always one that's very sociable and very up and about, and it's just, I think a lot of players, Mia, need to show more like what Bell does in both competitions, publicly post things, get around people. It's just, I mean, it seems to be working for her because the footy's doing well for us as well.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. She is a character to be around, and she was so good to have as one of our coaches for academy because we had her, Shane Campbell, and Nat and Zilks as the main coach. So
yes,
that was awesome to have them around, obviously with intensity and just seeing what it's like. So all great humans. So it was pretty cool.
That's right. I met her on the grand final last year when they won. We had a good chat for a little bit, and then in the photo that I have of her, you got that premiership medal, and she's just showing it up as some cool photos that you'll never forget. And I feel like, a lot of these players, this is not just about Bell, this is about any player at those levels, AFL or AFLW. I don't think they realise how much a little interaction like that, or a photo, or a message back on social media or anything like that, how important that may be. Nothing to them in a way, but to the other person, I don't think some of them in general know how important that truly can be for some people.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Like the smallest interaction with like a superstar can mean so much to people like us. So it's pretty cool.
That's right. Now, you've obviously had the luxury of having some of those players through the academy coaching, as you just mentioned, the names there, and hanging around from time to time. Is there one player that comes to mind where you're like, wow, this person just messaged me back, or if someone in person?
Yeah, even just like when I talk to them, like I've met them before, a few of them, and they just still remember me. Like I've had sessions with Ben Stanley, who does enhanced football up Sunny Coast, and I've done training camps with like Belle, Jade, Ellie Hampson, and like it's pretty crazy. Like even when they like on Instagram, if you see they like your story or if they follow you, it's like, whoa,
Yes.
like did that really just happen? Yeah, and I saw Ellie at the game just gone where they unfortunately lost the Roos. But yeah, it was still cool. Like that. Yeah, it's pretty cool that they just still know you and everything and ask about footy and life.
That's right. I mean, because they would get so many people, either wanting them to follow them or just seeing people in general and stuff like that. And it's just when you see that name pop up, you get a notification. It's like, oh shit, hang on, is this the real one? These days with all these fake accounts with people's names that are known, and it's like, and trust me, I know the same people do that to me. It's like you see the names, right, Mia, and then you probably go, I'm going to make sure this is the real one. Have they got that tick? Have they, check all their accounts to see if it's real? It's like extra satisfaction in a way when you realize it is the real one.
Yeah, 100%. It's so cool.
Absolutely. Now, if you could have any superpowers, what superpowers would it be?
Ooh, superpowers. There's always so many cool ones like speed, invisibility. I reckon being able to fly would be cool, but I think teleportation would be really handy for me because I always need to be in so many different places. It would be nice to just click my fingers and be somewhere different.
That's right. That's what I would choose as well. I mean, you can rock up to a game, Mia, or like if you're just watching a game that is not playing, but if you're going to watch a game or whatever, you can just teleport yourself. People go, oh, you need to leave an hour and a half before the game, 2 hours, yada yada yada. No, not with that. You wouldn't. You just click your finger and you're there.
Yeah, literally, it'd be so handy, I reckon.
It would be. And some people that say flying it's another good one because then you don't have to pay for nothing, really.
Oh yeah, very true. No traffic either. Just
no. And if you want to go to games or concerts and stuff where you have to pay for it, well, you can just fly over the roof and randomly slide into a seat.
Yeah, that's actually a crazy idea. That's smart.
Yeah, and skip the queue. You just fly from one spot to the other. Got this big food line or merch line. Just slide in somewhere, and then you're there.
Just cheat the system.
Exactly. Find a way to cheat the system. That's one way to do it. Not that we advocate for it, but anyway. Game day superstitions, Mia. Do you have any game day superstitions that you must do?
Used to be a pretty bad one. I don't do it as much anymore, but I used to struggle to like eat before games because I'd be so nervous. So I'd have to eat crackers or something just so I could get energy in.
You know what? I was the exact same. You get up, and if it's a morning game or whatever, you're like, no, I can't. I always get that stomach nerves all the time, right? It's like, no, I'm not having nothing. But then you realize, like, no, I should get something. And it ends up being something like a Macca's, whether it's just if it's in the morning, like a bacon and egg or something like that, and or a drink. And it just needs something. Sometimes it depends what it is. If it's in a home game, you're familiar with the area, so you know what you can do. But if it's an away game and there's, you have to I don't know. It's a hard one, but yeah, I'm pretty much like you with that, or was.
Yeah, it's pretty handy too because you just need food in and energy. So if it works, it works. And yeah, I also like another superstition kind of thing. Like I always kind of have the same routine, and I always like put tape on my wrist, and I normally write on them as well. So.
Oh, that's good. Are you one that puts little notes on said tape? Because I've noticed a lot of people these days are starting to put words or names and stuff like that on it.
Yeah, definitely that's me. Like a couple keywords or like if there's a goal for the game, like just like one simple little focus to always like bring back to or yeah.
Right, very good. Now, if there's one player that you could poach to join Queensland through the state championships or any teams that you've ever been a part of, if there's one player, it can be as unrealistic as you like. It can be a scenario that could never happen, but you just want it to happen. Who's that player you would love to steal?
So like any age, any team.
Yeah, any age, any team to join either the Queensland side or if you want to hypothetically speak here, to join Brisbane in the men's or the women's.
Damn, okay. There's so many good players and honestly the choices are endless.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Like if you can't tell, Chloe's probably one of my favorite AFLW players, so I'd probably take her to the Lions. That would be good. Yeah, I reckon she'd be handy there.
I know they're already a dangerous side. You add Chloe to that, gee whiz, that'd be even more scary for the opposition to face them.
Yeah, 100%. Like her class is so good.
That's right. Now, I love asking people these food questions, Mia, because I don't know what's wrong with people in Australia. As you may know, that some people get so worked up, right, over certain things being called something, certain foods not having certain foods belong on something, certain toppings not being allowed, certain sauces shouldn't belong on this, shouldn't mix these foods. You know what people are like, right? So before I get to you these 6 food questions, how are you with food in general?
I love my food. Like I'm always hungry. So I'm constantly eating. Yeah.
All right, so this might be okay for you. So for the record, I've had over 150 people answer these questions, right? And only 8 people have said the illogical wrong answer. I got the illogical wrong answer for this first question. And trust me, all 8 people have copped a hiding to a degree if they get the first question wrong. I think you'll be all right because you're not in Victoria, even though I am. But so then that's right. The lowest score anyone's ever gotten is a bunch of people on 3 out of 6, and only 13 people have got all 6 questions correct to how I would answer them. So everyone's getting at least 3 pretty much. So let's hope you get at least that, and then you won't be on this fake honours board for the lowest score ever. Right, the first one and the most important one, chicken palmy. Is it a palmy or is it something else?
No, it's a palmy. I don't know why people say Palmer.
Thank you, man. I mean, and by the way, for context, now that you've just saved yourself with that one, not one non-Victorian has answered palmy any differently to what you just did. So that's good. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's just people here, I think, not me, but other people here that don't know what they're talking about. Right, the second one, tomato sauce. Tomato sauce, cupboard or fridge?
Well, personally, at home, mine's in the cupboard, but yeah, I honestly don't mind either way.
I'm the exact same. Like, if I picked one, it'd be cupboard, but if it's in the fridge, I don't really care. So that's good. 2 for 2. Good start. Right, pineapple on a pizza, yes or no?
It's a yes.
Damn it. Okay, fair enough. Right, 2 for 3. You only need one more, but that's okay. That's all right. Now, favorite food?
Favorite food? There's a lot of good foods.
Yeah.
Go to before a game's always lasagna, but I also love sushi.
Okay, I'll give you a point because you said lasagna, so that's good. Right, see, 3 for 4. See, you're safe. Right, food you don't like?
I hate pickles.
Same here. See, flying through 4 for 5. And favorite takeaway place / restaurant?
Ooh, that's a good question. There's so many good places. Hey,
Very true. Any specific type of food then?
probably got to say like sushi when I'm in the mood. Like it hits.
Fair enough. All right. I won't give that because I just mentioned that before. So 4 for 6, but that's good, me. See, you passed the test with flying colours. That's good. You wouldn't want to be the one, as I said, to be on this. You wouldn't want to be on the fake honours board. All right. So we'll move on along here. Favourite music?
Favorite music? My music taste is so random. Like it can go from country to pop to indie to a bit of rap. Probably more. Yeah, I'm vibing with country and just indie and pop, that kind of style at the moment.
Fair enough. Now, I ask these people these questions sometimes, and they can kind of fall under whatever category. But if you can name 3 famous people, dead or alive, now, who would you want to take out to dinner with?
Dead or alive? That is a good question. Probably Chloe Malloy. Alive, obviously.
Yes. Yes.
I reckon maybe. Yeah, this is hard. Her, probably Joel Selwood, because he's just like one of the GOATs, men's footy.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a non-footy player.
No, yeah, that's all right. I normally name just footballers as well. I was asked this once, or wrestlers because I like wrestling. But they'd be the only 2 categories I really choose from.
Oh, actually, and Shane Warne, I reckon.
Warnie, nice, the cricketer. Yeah, some good options. It's funny when I got asked this on the spot. So this is probably part of the reason why I asked this question. Right, I was asked this when I first started my channel. I had like an introduction video, and I got a journo to actually interview me, and he asked me that question. And I said Nick Riewoldt, being a St Kilda fan, and he's my favourite player ever. And then literally I was on the spot. I had no clue what to say. So he's like, "Oh, just a one-on-one dinner date with Nick Riewoldt." I said, "Well, no, I just can't think of anyone else." And I think I ended up naming a few others in the end. But yeah, see, when you're on the spot sometimes, that's what happens. All right, favourite item of clothing?
Favourite item of clothing would be... I love hats, so I don't know if that counts, but I love hats.
Yes, no, that counts. Yep. I know there's a lot of people who aren't really hat people these days.
Yeah, I love hats. I'm like always in a hat, so I'm surprised I don't have one on right now.
But same here. I mean, if anyone that checks out any of the photos I have of AFL or AFLW plays, I'm wearing a hat in almost every photo. Sometimes, though, like last night, being at the Dogs-Eagles games, I tend to, the majority of the time, when it's not a St Kilda player, take the hat off, because then you're going up to another club, wearing a different club hat. So sometimes I take it off for that reason.
Fair enough.
But if I know them, it's okay. If I know them, it's okay because they kind of know I go for them. But like if it's someone else that may not know me, who I think at least may not know me, then I sometimes don't wear it on purpose.
Yeah, that's so fair.
Favorite app on your phone?
Favorite app? Gotta be Instagram or Snapchat, I reckon.
Yeah, they're the common answers, and to be honest, they should be the only answers. And maybe if you're a bit older, Facebook to a degree as well, if you had that back in the day. All right, now, I love asking these questions because I get a whole variation of answers here. If you're in charge, me, of the AFL or AFLW, you're the CEO for a day. What rules are you adding or removing?
Ooh. I reckon I've got told of the rule that you can't wear a plat when you play. So
interesting. I haven't heard that before.
Yeah, someone told me, and I'm like, is that true? Because I always play in plats, so I don't know. That is actually. So you would that one.
Okay. Now I did not know that one. That's definitely one. Now, one through the state championships, which obviously you would have had happen throughout the tournament, and I've had a lot of the girls in your position that played in those championships that always bring this up as well, is the anti-density rule. Are you a fan of that or not? Because I don't even like to watch it from afar. I can imagine what the people playing it with it feel about it.
It's not too bad. Like I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's kind of good because it gets us sort of spread out, and it can actually make the game flow. Yeah, sometimes it's annoying, but
when I've asked players that, and the ones that go to that, they're a bit different to you. They really don't like it, and they really want it gone. And I can understand what you're saying about it. from a scoring point of view, that's what you want, right? That's probably why they brought it in. But then from the other side, I can see why they don't want it. Because you have to go. Because when I was at some of the state championships games in Melbourne, and then seeing some of those games and hearing, I won't say names, but I heard players and other people that are involved not be fans of it. I can see why. But anyway, here we are. All right, so setbacks and pressure, Mia. Obviously, no one wants to go through injuries and no one wants to get through setbacks and in whatever form or get under pressure. Have you ever had any injuries or setbacks, and how do you try and overcome that?
I've had a couple injuries. Thankfully, none that have been super recent, but I broke my arm in 2019 and then I dislocated my thumb in 2020. So they sucked, but I'm here now and I've kind of been relatively unscathed. Yeah, so hoping to stay injury-free for a little bit longer, touch wood.
That's right. So now you've won goal of the year. So this kind of answer will be obvious. Now, I ask everyone this, and no one's really won a goal of the year twice, like you have. And I always ask people, mark a goal of the year, which one would you rather do and why? But I think we know the answer. Would you like to also do mark of the year as well, since you've won goal of the year twice?
Yeah, I mean, getting a mark of the year would be pretty cool as well. Yeah, but goal of the year, that's pretty crazy. I'm super happy.
Absolutely. And I always ask people, Mia, if they whatever answer they go with, how would you love to pull it off? Now, you've pulled off goal of the year twice. So how would you like to do another goal of the year contender? If you could pick the angle, this can be as unrealistic as you want. You get in the distance, the angle, the moment, the occasion. How would you like to do another goal of the year one?
I reckon even like a snap on the boundary, like the wrong pocket for the right foot. That would be pretty cool. Or like a massive barrel from like 50 out.
That'd be nice. I mean, I think, and I mean, you can agree to this, I'm sure. You get extra satisfaction for kicking a nice goal as well.
Yeah, 100%. And it's even better when you know kind of off the boot where it's going or if it's going to go through.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, yeah. There was one in the AFLW, which this one, I mean, it was fantastic, don't get me wrong, but it was also with a bit of luck. Danielle Ponton, which you get that goal from the centre square at Icon last year, I think it was last year. Did you see that one? And do you think that anything like that could be replicated?
Potentially on the right day in the right circumstances. Definitely.
And hopefully. That's right. Now, with all these goals and marks and everything like that, have you got a go-to goal celebration to me that you have? And I'm sure there's something you pull out when you've done these goals or goals in general.
Sometimes I like pull out like finger in the air, like waving it around a little bit. But yeah, that's probably the only go-to one.
Okay. Is there any you've got in your back pocket for future games?
Not really. Kind of just whatever happens in the moment. Yeah. I've seen a couple pretty cool goal cellies.
What are some goal celebrations that you've seen there then that you don't mind and would consider doing or just like seeing in general?
I think the funny ones are obviously Ginnivan, who plays for the Hawks now. He's done a couple of cool ones like cracking a beer can or like throwing a dart. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, a few interesting ones that Ginnivan does, absolutely, for sure. Now, so I've got a few more for you, Mia, so I do really appreciate you coming on. Any outside of footy interest that you have?
Outside footy injury?
Interests.
Oh, interest. I played trumpet at school, so that's always fun. Yeah, and obviously a whole bunch of other school sports like hockey, soccer. Yeah.
Nice. Now, you mentioned the trumpet. I'm not going to make you play it on here, but someone actually played an instrument on here last year, and it actually popped off for views. So if there's any time you want to get views, that is something you could do for yourself to get some people clicking on it and viewing it and everything like that. But how would you, if someone was to say to you, okay, how confident are you on the trumpet? How confident would you be?
Like I'm confident. Been playing for a little while now, since grade 5, so like maybe 7 years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I had to play the last post earlier this year at school and did pretty well at
Mm-hmm.
that. So, yeah, I would say
Nice.
I'm confident.
That's good. Now, you mentioned soccer there. What are your thoughts on soccer players in general? Do you feel like they go down a little bit too easy and they like staging a lot?
I reckon definitely in the men's, but sometimes in the women's,
Yeah.
it's like pretty tough, I reckon.
Mm. And I'm seeing AFL players do this as well, is they accident stage for free kicks like they've been shot. And then the moment the free's gone their way, they bounce back up like nothing's happened.
100%. It happens all the time.
And the umpires get suckered in a lot with that type
Yeah.
of stuff. Now, I got two more for you. So, first one is teammates. That I should have mentioned this earlier, but who are some teammates for you in general? This can be through the Lions Academy. This can be through the state Queensland side. Who are some players that kind of fly under the radar a little bit, Mia, and don't get talked about as much as you feel they should?
I feel there's a couple. So from like Lions, I reckon Poppy flies under the radar, Poppy Tyndall, and definitely
Yes.
High Highs. She's played really well this year and was unlucky to get that foot ankle injury towards the end.
Yeah.
And at the Suns, I reckon Naali Milne, and then Annabelle Fote. I reckon she's done well.
You know, I've had Fody on not too long ago, actually, maybe about a month ago, and Milne I had on a while back. And it's good to see the people that, you know, you've had on do very well throughout a tournament, and both have impressed, especially Milne. She obviously been in a draft year this year. She's did pretty well throughout the tournament. I actually named my own All-Australian team for the championships recently, and she made the team. And obviously, yeah, done pretty well. And Fody did good as well. And you've all contributed in your own ways.
Yeah, 100%. We all brought something different to the table, so it was good to see it all come together.
That's right. Now, the last one I got for you to do, appreciate you coming on. If you can map out an ideal world, obviously you want to be drafted and everything like that, but if you can map out an ideal plan, again, you can pick the team, the timing and everything like that and the rest of your footy journey. Mia, how would you love for it to pan out for you?
I would love to be picked up, hopefully, by the Lions in 2026, so I can stay close to home as well, and because I already know a bunch of people there. It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be ideal, I reckon.
That's right. You know, nothing better than not having to move and being involved. And I mean, yeah, they make it more confident for you, I suppose, being in the academy. You know, some people would go into a club, you know, you're not or you're thrown into a way that you don't really know anyone. You have to start from scratch. But yeah, you may be a listed player, but you've kind of got those relationships with Bell and Nat and Shannon and everyone that you mentioned, Zilks and everything like that. So you kind of get in a bit easier.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely helps, I reckon.
And since we brought that up, I'm going to have to bring out this last one. If the opportunity, though, was to go interstate, would that be something you would be open to?
Yeah, definitely open to going interstate, you know, wherever the opportunity happens to arise from, we'll take it with both hands.
That's right, Mia. It's been a pleasure having you on. All the best for the rest of the upcoming seasons and everything like that. And hopefully in a few years' time, we hear the draft, when they read the names out and they read out Mia Geere, not anything else, because any other variation is wrong. It's been a pleasure having you on, and all the best.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
No, it's anytime.